One thing that is hard to gauge when making a new video is what should we show. This is especially true when we are looking at new product that has many incredible features. And yes, this device doesn't look like much, but believe me, it will change the way you approach intercom projects. This is the IXGW-TGW by Aiphone. So yeah, those cute bunny hairs are not just for looks. The IXGW-TGW is Aiphone's new cloud gateway. Think of it as the Swiss Army knife of security. It enables cellular dialing for your intercoms and the use of their mobile application and temporary key creation. It replaces SIP and VoIP integration. You can use it for commercial, emergency, residential application, and that is just to name a few things. Let's see how it actually works. I'm gonna draw some things on the board for you to follow along. So let's do this. Imagine the IXGW-TGW that we have here as a modular design, meaning that you can use what you need for the time being, but you can also add a multitude of new features for your projects without changing the hardware. So in that situation, let's say we have an IX device on a project, because yes, the TGW works with the IX and IXG series. I add the TGW and program it to be used with an entrance panel like this one. So the gateway now acts as a multi-purpose bridge between the entrance panel and the person on the receiving end. So for my beautiful drawing, entrance panel, TGW, and here the person on the receiving end. So in a multi-tenant building, for example, this bridge makes it so through the entrance panel, I can call a tenant mobile phone and the tenant can open the door with their dial pad. And as I said, it's multi-purpose because you can also enable the TGW to call on Aiphone's application instead of the cellular line. And it's the same idea. You open the door through the app. And don't get me wrong, it is not one or the other. You can program it so let's say some senior resident can open the door directly from their dial pad. This way they don't need to navigate through their phone to download the app. And if a resident wants to use the app, well, they can. It is actually a pretty neat tool, honestly. You can create temporary keys, monitor through the video intercom, but let's keep this feature for another video and focus on cellular dialing. So once again, entrance panel, IXGW-TGW, I have my resident here. He can use the Aiphone mobile app or he can use his cellular line, all because the TGW acts as a bridge between the entrance panel and his phone, and there you have it, the power of the TGW. And now let's get back to the table. In short, you can use the TGW as a mix and match telephone entry system through cellular without a plain old telephone service or a SIP server. You can also use this feature in a pure commercial system where emergency towers can dial emergency services via the TGW. Or if you call the master station and the guard in place is not at his desk, it will roll over to a telephone call to reach him. And I understand it can be complicated, so we'll do a quick demo for you to see how it actually works in a real life application. Alright, you're going in front of a building, you have the DM7 on it, so this is your entrance panel, and as the guard station we are using the IXG MK. In this scenario, the guard can walk around, maybe because it's a late hour, so he's doing circles around the building, making sure everything is safe. And someone tries to enter the building, so he tries to reach the guard at his station. So here we have the guard station program at 008, but you can also have an icon that will call directly the guard station. So now I call from the DM7 the guard station, so you see it ring here. But at the same time, this call roll over to my cell phone right here. As you can see, I'm receiving a call. So if I'm not at my guard station, I can answer the phone here. I can speak with the person at the entrance, and if I open my dial pad, I can also open the door directly from my mobile phone. So this way I'm able to kind of monitor who's in front of the door by talking with them and let them in, so I can also join them at the entrance and see who's at our building entrance. So this was kind of a small example of how this would work in a real life application. Now, maybe my drawings weren't that clear. If you watch other videos, you know I'm not that much of an artist. I just like to draw on our whiteboard. But let's do a quick demo to illustrate a multi-tenant project using the TGW that we have right here. Again, as illustrated on the whiteboard, we have an entrance panel. We will still use the DM7. So if I click on the screen, I can go here and have a list of different units inside a building. So whether it's a multi-tenant building, it also applies to commercial building. So this way I can have multiple businesses that I can reach through this exact panel. And as we mentioned, it's a mix and match. It doesn't need to be only cellular, or it doesn't need to only be the app. That's what we're trying to show right here. So if I go in there and I call, let's say, unit 005, well, as you can see on my mobile phone right here, I'm receiving a cellular call directly to my telephone. So I didn't need to install the application. I just needed to give my information to the project manager, and this way I can open the door. I talk with the person in front, and again, I can open the door. So that's what I mentioned before. So if you have an older citizen that doesn't want to go inside the App Store and download anything, you can program it so they can use their phone to open the door. But it's also true if you want to download the application and have access to more things. It works in a similar way. So if I go here and I call unit A, for example, it will still ring on my phone, but you'll notice that this time it's not a cellular number calling me, it's the Aiphone IXG application. So I can click on here, it will open this, and now I can actually answer, so similar to the cellular one, so I can talk with the person in front of the door, I can monitor them through the screen,
Door open.
and I can open the door with a little bit of feedback. What you need to remember is that the TGW right here provides an LTE connection, ensuring reliability and flexibility. Keep in mind that it works as a primary network connection or a backup failsafe. The TGW keeps you connected. Another thing that keeps you connected to awesome things is the People Systems channel. As we mentioned, we have a video coming up showing you how to generate temporary key using the Aiphone application and much more. That's all we're about, creating content for you guys. So hit that bell, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see each other on the next one.